Today for the Bitcoin price with Karl from the Moon, we will talk about very compelling evidence here for a clear manipulation, not only by Coinbase but also by Binance, which led the price here to dump down approximately $1,000 in a matter of minutes. We will talk about all of that, and also if this is already the end of the dump or if we can expect lower prices here. We will talk about specific price targets with Karl from the Moon. But before we want to come to the most important question of today, Karl from the Moon, how are you doing today, my man?
So I am doing well. I would be doing a little bit more better if the price was going up. But let's talk about this this dump and where we go from here.
And guys, by the way, this is very important for us. Please scroll down here in the video right now and press the like button. Let's get this video to 2,000 likes. Yes, and before we wanted to talk about this very compelling evidence here. And maybe you heard it somewhere already. Some people talked about Coinbase, but there is more to it. So first of all, if you go on Twitter here, you can actually see from the official verified Binance account at Binance that they posted approximately 11 hours ago. Trading is now live on Binance. We apologize for the inconvenience as always. Thank you for your incredible support. Well, what does that mean? That means that they had a maintenance. So far so good. Doesn't sound all too crazy, right? Well, there was more to it. Also, if you go here on this down detector, people can basically, when a website is down, just post whenever a website is down. And here you can see at 5 AM, I think it is UTC, a lot of people reported at the same time that also Coinbase is down. And if you try to log in, no matter where you are in the world, you were actually able to see that you cannot log in into Coinbase for a few hours. So we had Coinbase and Binance being down. And now guys, look at this. If you go over to the Binance exchange, this is Binance.com, and look at this here on the upside. Let me just go with the cursor here, and you can actually see here, look at this. So these candles here, it's the 15-minute candles. 8, so this is 6 PM, 6:15, 6:30, and now guys, boom. This is 6 hours of maintenance. And guess what happened? This is a 15-minute candles. Only in a matter of 2 hours afterwards, the price dumped down, and Coinbase also was down. And we talked about that actually together here before the video. One possible reason for that can be either it could be manipulation. Let's say there is a coincidence and they only did this maintenance thing. I mean, Karl, we talked about a liquidity issue. If Binance and Coinbase, which are without any doubt one of the biggest, if not the biggest exchanges in terms of volume and also importance for the market, then you are taking liquidity from the market, and also if you take a global order book, also depth from the market. So it is much easier to dump the price down if you take depth from the order books. So someone could just go on Bitstamp or so and dump the price with much lower volume. And this is maybe what happened here. What are your thoughts about that, Karl, before we go into the TA and the very specific price target?
Yeah, so these are very interesting thoughts, and of course we cannot say that we have conclusive proof, but we do have evidence that would suggest that something has been going on here. And of course it could be a coincidence, but then again, we have seen so many times historically that when these big exchanges are down, we do see fishy price action. And I remember a tweet from, I think it was Jacob Canfield just a few weeks ago, where Coinbase was down again, and he said something on Twitter like, pay attention, look out for big price swings. And this is something that we've seen many times before. And I mean, we've been in crypto for more than 3 years, and during the past at least 2 years, I have seen many times, or at least several times, these kind of things happen. So I think that there is validity and credibility to this theory. So without having conclusive proof, I do really think that we have interesting evidence here.
Compelling evidence,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So think about it, guys. If you go to the 10 real exchanges, no, I don't have it open right now, but sometimes we have like 1 billion in total volume per day, 2 billion, and Binance alone, they sometimes in the Bitcoin USDT pair make up for 600-700 million volume per day. So I mean, it could be, if you take half of the liquidity of the market away with 2 exchanges only, that it is much easier to dump, right? So no matter if it was these Bitcoins from the auction or Massive Way who just decided, well guys, let's trigger some stop losses, there was probably something fishy going on.
So, I mean, if you have a hard time conceptualizing this liquidity stuff, let's just say you have a huge rock a massive rock, it's very hard to push it, right? But if you can make sure that this rock for a limited period of time is very, very small, just like a very small rock, it's very easy to push that smaller rock. So the more liquidity and the more the bigger the rock, the harder to move the market. But the smaller the liquidity, the lower the liquidity, the easier it is to manipulate. And that's why also Bitcoin is easy to manipulate when you compare to gold or bigger stocks, because it's a smaller rock. It's easier to push. It's easier to move. So if you do want to manipulate Bitcoin, then you can do it. It's possible if you have money.
Yeah, it is possible anyways. And if you take the two biggest exchanges away, it is even easier.
It's even easier. Yeah.
So perfect. And let's take it as it is. Manipulation, maybe a coincidence. There was something to it. But if we take that all together and we just take the dump here objectively as it is here, we zoom out a little bit. What are the next price target? Is this dump already over because we have a lot of bearish sentiment over already and the price is probably just going to butt up again, or is there more downside here? And that's exactly the reason why I actually also onboarded Carl from the Moon here. And maybe you can share your thoughts here with our audience and we can talk a little bit about possible price targets here on the downside and what's going to happen for Bitcoin in the immediate short term.
Yeah, so first of all, what we can see right here in the chart now, you don't have to change. We can see that the lowest low we have now, this low is lower than the previous one. Right there, exactly. So we are entering into a downtrend, and also the high, as we can see here, is lower than the previous one. So in the short term, we are entering into a technical downtrend here, and we are on the 1 hour chart as we speak. This is the CME futures chart, and the interesting part is if we go to the 4 hourly on the CME futures chart, there is a gap down at $8,500 as represented by this yellow horizontal line. And you guys know the deal. If you actually watch my videos, I always talk about these gaps, and I know that some people don't believe in the gaps, but I actually do believe that the gaps should get some credibility, because we have seen the gaps get filled with a very high accuracy previously. But no matter what, you can do what you want with this information. There is a gap, however, down at 8.5k, and even though we've been going up for the past few weeks, this is the only bearish sign that I've been able to find, or the only big bearish sign for the bigger time frame. And I think that now that we have broken down, I think that we should take a look at this level, pay attention to it. There is actually a gap all the way down at 7.7 thousand. However, as I've pointed out previously, I'm not really too sure if I want to give too much credibility to that gap, because it's already filled partially. But yeah, let's just keep. It
was filled on the spot exchanges, but not on the futures exchange. And sometimes we have some discussions about the gap, whether it happens or not. If you have a trading plan and it works actually out, I mean, we at MMCrypto, we've totally accepted. There are also some arguments that it is simply the volatility which is closing the gaps here. But maybe this is something for a future episode, and we can discuss the arguments for that. Yeah. So this is actually very interesting to look at. And now I want to know from you guys, is your sentiment already switched? And do you think now, because the recent days the people have been more bullish, we are doing this little polls, do you think we might reach the $8,500 level, or will we just back up again? So let us know in the poll which is popping up on top of the screen right now. Do you think we will reach $8,000? Yes or no? Click the poll right now and say yes or no. Also scroll down to the comment section and let us know your favorite altcoin. The next DaVinci J15 episode is coming very soon. Maybe we can find some cheap entries here in this possible altcoin season. That being said, thank you so much for joining the episode today here. Do you have any last thoughts or important things to share before we wrap up today's episode?
I think that so far we've not seen a huge correction. It is possible that we will see a bigger correction, but let's not forget that the bull cycle has started. The halving is coming up. Don't get too nervous, don't get too fearful here. I think that Bitcoin is looking overwhelmingly bullish in the longer term here. We have seen the bullish cross, the golden cross between the 50 and the 200 daily moving average, and we've seen most of the momentum switch to the upside. So so far this is still just a very short-term correction, and I don't think there is there's reason to be overwhelmingly bearish right now.
I mean, just look at our tweet here at MMCrypto on Twitter. We said, wow, crazy Bitcoin dump. And we said, are you scared and anxious because all the bears now coming out on Twitter and posting this fear? Well, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at this one here. Does this look like a very bearish market for you? I mean, we cannot even see the dump here on the monthly candles. Let's keep the $8,500 level in mind, whether it is because of, future support or maybe the CME gap. Let's keep it in mind. And also let's keep in mind, I mean, Bitcoin can get supported somewhere here in these areas also. So guys, don't freak out all too much. Always remember that Bitcoin is also a long-term holding asset and not only a short-term trading asset. And that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we will see each other very soon in the next one of MMCrypto, probably already today or tomorrow. And as always, guys, as always, bye-bye.